Hello, happy Thursday. We will see who's online to join us. We got some fun announcements today. I am getting so excited for the things that are to come, guys, and I'm excited to share them with you as we, travel along this journey together. I'm just going to do a quick recap, give some announcements today for our community chat. I haven't gotten to talk to you guys all week. If you don't know me, my name is Brandie. I am the owner and the CEO for the National Black Doulas Association. You guys have been with me on this journey for a while. Hello, doulas. How are you guys? Just to recap, I purchased the National Black Doulas Association from our founder, the esteemed Tracy Collins, who is enjoying her time. I'm sure, resting and relaxing. I know that she's, relocated and hopefully is really enjoying her time away from birth work. I know if you've been in birth work long enough, you know that it can definitely, be taxing sometimes. So it's always great to be able to enjoy some downtime and move on to maybe some other things that your heart desires to do. I have been a doula for 14 years now, which is crazy to me to even think about. I have doula kiddos that are in teenagers now. Some of the first birthdays always get me, and then when they go to kindergarten. So I was talking to my sister the other day, and we had one of our kids that I worked with when she was preparing to go to college. She's now going to kindergarten, and so I'm like, oh my gosh, it's just so strange to see the little ones grow up and go off to school and all of that kind of stuff. So I'm excited, for the next journey of the NBDA. So I have been in this position for a little while now, have been, learning and growing so much and so quickly. And now I am excited for our planning season. And so we are getting ready for 2025, even though it is like, where did 2024 go? We still have a lot left of 24. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to rush the year along, but I am definitely pushing towards, what things are going to be like for us in the years to come. And especially as we go into 2025, we have a lot of newness that's taking place now. We have an election that is underway, which could definitely have a large impact on maternal mortality in this country in general, but specifically in some of these more southern states. So we're definitely keeping our eye on that, making sure that we're staying abreast of the things that are being brought up when it comes to policy and, those kind of guidelines, and wanting to make sure that the NBDA specifically, but really so we can make sure that we're creating a path for other Black and brown entities, but other Black and brown doulas. We're making sure that, we're reaching out and in these meetings with various states as well as Medicaid in general. And so as we prepare for next year, one of the things that we have been working on this year actually has already come to pass, and you guys have been able to see it released on our social media, and that is being able to partner with TRICARE. So now if you have a client that has TRICARE insurance, they can use you as an NBDA doula and be reimbursed for your services. This is a huge deal because there are, I believe we make number 4 or 5 for this list. Just to put that in context, there are probably roughly 30, 40, if not more, training organizations within the United States. And so for us to be amongst the 4 or 5 that have this approval for TRICARE specifically is a huge deal. But also just, as a window into 2025, we are working on similar scenarios with many other insurance companies as well. I just had a meeting earlier today with somebody from an insurance carrier. And so we're really excited, and because we're excited about 2025, one of the things that was really impressed upon my heart recently is it's great that we're preparing for next year. It's great that we're going to get all of these, programs or these partnerships together. But it's not great if our doulas aren't prepared to enjoy them or to take part in them, right? So there's a couple of things that I want to go over today, just briefly, to get us ready for 2025, right? So the first thing, there's 2 programs that we already knew that we would be bringing in 2025, but that we have put a rush on and that they are now available today. And so the first program is our cross-training program, meaning that if you are a doula like me, who when you first started your training, maybe there was not an NBDA. Okay. When I trained, the NBDA did not exist. 14 years ago, when I was thinking about becoming a doula, there was not an NBDA. And so there were only organizations that didn't look like me, quite frankly, that were on the table as an option for me to even train. Right. And so if you fall in that category, or if you've trained with a organization that you don't completely feel in alignment with anymore. Right. And to me, this is a major one, especially because anyone who knows me, while I am 100% a lover of doula work, I'm also 100% a lover of doula businesses doing well, right? And so when it comes to what I believe can be a really big push forward in making sure that you get that NBDA certification, being able to bill TRICARE insurance or other insurance carriers, this is a big deal, guys. Being able to say, hey, I accept these insurances. This is going to automatically boost the amount of clientele that is going to be coming your way. Now, I can't promise that, right? We're not saying, oh, you join NBDA, you're going to get this many more clients. We don't know that. Of course, it still takes work from us as entrepreneurs, but just keeping that in mind, guys, if you are on a insurance, if clients can use you and don't have to pay directly, but can use their insurance funds to do that, that is definitely going to be a reason why somebody might choose you over either another doula or not having a doula at all. Okay. So keeping that in mind, that's a really huge reason, to go ahead and move forward with your NBDA certification. One, of course, like I said, insurance carriers. And then the other parts of that is there are many states now within the United States, not, a ton, but many that are moving towards a model where they have a pre-approved list of certifying bodies that you as a doula would have had to certify with in order to take advantage of Medicaid reimbursement funds. And so the reason why this is important is that when you are looking at, hey, I live in the state of Florida, I know that they have a reimbursement policy when it comes to Medicaid insurance, but they tell you, oh, yes, we do reimburse for it, but you have to be on this list. Your certification has to match, maybe one of these 5 entities, and your entity is not listed. So maybe you trained with somebody that, has not taken the time to get on these lists. That means that you, unfortunately, while you might be trained and certified and really ready to do the work, the unfortunate truth is you won't be able to take advantage of that Medicaid reimbursement. And so right now, the National Black Doulas Association is on the list. There's about 15 states out now that have some kind of pre-approval process, right? And so the NBDA, as of this last Tuesday, we are on 12 of the 15 lists, right? So we are still in talks with New Jersey. So if you are a New Jersey doula, hit us up. We are in talks with your state. We just got our approval. I believe Tuesday was when we got the approval for DC. So Maryland, DC, Michigan, Florida, California. I'm not going to remember all of the states right now. So if you are wondering if your state is on that list, just send us a DM or an email. But we are going to be putting out that list pretty soon. And so, yes, Jersey, first of all, northern states are a little bit more difficult. It's hard to pinpoint, get some of those people to slow down. I feel like maybe we move a little quicker up north. I'm from Detroit, so I get it. We talk faster, we move quicker. But so Jersey has been a little bit more difficult, but we are, with the help of Michelle, who's amazing. She's out there in Jersey. She's one of our trainers. And she's actually going to be joining us for a master class pretty soon. She's amazing. But she's been instrumental in really helping us to get New Jersey on board and to get us on their list. The biggest thing for New Jersey is that they only open that list. I don't know if they've opened it since they formed it, but that the idea there is that the list right now is not open for us to to join. And so we're kind of pushing or petitioning for them to open the list in order for us to then be able to join that list. But for the other states that we've been able to, we've been able to send in our documentation. They've requested information about our curriculum and what we include and all of those things. And so we've been able to get, approval and just by sending in our curriculum and kind of the way that we do our trainings. And so we're immensely grateful for that. I'm so grateful for our team on the back end. They have literally gone through every single state, contacted the state, figured out what it looks like to get on to that particular state's approval list, and we've done the work, right? So if you're wondering what we've been doing this year, that's a part of it, because we know 2025 is going to be a big change for a lot of things when it comes to things within the doula world. When I became a doula 14 years ago, clients paid you directly, and that was really the only option you had, right? There was not a whole lot of, hey, well, my insurance might cover it, or hey, Medicaid might cover it. Hey, there might be other ways to get funding. No, from the very beginning, it has been your client pays you directly, and that's really the only options that you have. But now we are in a space where we have so many more options, and I want our doulas to be able to take advantage of that. We already know that one of the ways for us to stay in this space as doulas is for us to make financial sense. And then we also want to make sure that we're helping our clientele. That's just the nature of a doula. And so a great way to do that is by taking advantage of all these entities that will pay into, people having doula care. And so I went a bit on a tangent talking about the states and the approval, but let me kind of give you a synopsis and a rundown. And so the NBDA already has a partnership with Walmart, right? So this is something that we've posted about a few times. We talked about a while back when it first happened. But just as a reminder, employees of Walmart have doula services through the NBDA as a perk for their employment. So if somebody is pregnant, they work at Walmart, they can access this through their employee perks. And so they'll get reimbursed for any services that you do with them as their doula. Okay, so that's perk number one. And one reason for you to get your NBDA certification, okay, is that you can have clients that are Walmart employees and you can be reimbursed for their services, okay, at a really livable wage, right? So the wage and things like that have already been worked out with Walmart. But yeah, so that's one thing. Keep that in mind. You do have to be certified. You can't just be a member of the NBDA. You do have to be a certified doula, meaning that you have taken a training with the NBDA, okay? So that's perk number one. We have Walmart as a national partner. This is just not one particular state or one particular Walmart. This is Walmart nationally. I actually am working with our contact people over there. They have a conference coming up soon that I'll be able to attend out in Denver, Colorado, sometime in September. And so we'll be able to, have more conversations. They really have been adamant about making sure that they continue this conversation and continue to push this agenda forward, right? So the first one, we have a partnership with Walmart. If you have your certification, you can take advantage of it. The next one is that we are getting approval for insurance companies. TRICARE has been a huge hurdle, and I will tell you, as soon as one gets knocked down, typically what happens, more start to come. As soon as we got our approval through TRICARE, I cannot tell you specifically because we're still working out some of the things on the back end, but we got so many people knocking on our door. We didn't even have to go to them. When it came to TRICARE, I'll be honest, we had to go to them. We had to do the work. We had to be very flexible and do the things that needed to be done in order to allow us to have that as an opportunity. And literally the day after we got that approval email, since then we've been getting emails from other entities asking, what does that partnership look like? How did you guys get that? And how can we possibly make that work here at Humana, Aetna, Blue Cross Blue Shield, with these other entities. And so we're really excited, but in order to take advantage of the TRICARE that is already there, and then the other things that we're hopefully planning to have for you guys in 2025, again, you cannot just be a member of the NBDA. You have to also have a certification, meaning that you've taken one of our trainings. And so first one, again, Walmart is a partner. The second one is that we have insurance carriers. The last one, similar to what we were just going over, states, there's about 15 states right now that have pre-approval processes in place for training bodies, meaning that for the state of Michigan, we're on their list, and they have grant funding is typically how they give out the funds for their doulas, meaning that a client needs a doula, you're a doula in the state of Michigan who has a certificate from, I believe they have about 6 different organizations on their list. So you have a certificate from one of these 6 organizations. And as a result of having that certification, you can then bill in Medicaid insurance within that state. Okay. So one more time, Michigan is a state that has already decided. So out of the 50 states, there's about 15 states that have something in place right now. Is it good? Is it bad? There's some states are still working out the kinks. Just putting that out there, full disclosure, it probably is not where it should be or where it will be this time next year. But these 15 states, they do have something in place, right? So out of those states, when we're looking at Michigan specifically, we're on their list. Okay, so out of the 15 states, 12 of them, we are already on the list. We've sent the curriculum. If you go to their websites or look at the states, you'll see our names reflected as an entity that is pre-approved for if you take one of our trainings and become certified, you can then move on to be able to bill Medicaid insurance for that state. Okay, so these are the reasons why we need more and more Black and brown doulas specifically to come on and train and get these certifications, because we're working hard to really pave the way to make this much easier for you than it has been in the past. But you do have to have a certification, and there's no way around that. Okay, the other thing that I really need you guys to work on, and we're going to actually do a workshop sometime in November, probably right at the top of November, because I want you guys to make sure you have this before we go into 2025, and that's an NPI number. And so if you don't know what NPI number is National Practitioners Identification Number. Long time ago, again, 14 years ago when I first started, when you would go to the NPI website, it would just say holistic practitioner. It didn't even have a space for doulas. Now, if you go to that website, you will see in the drop-down menu or however they have it set up currently that there's a space that specifically says doulas. So I get this question a lot. I see it on a lot of different places in Facebook or things like that where people say, well, I thought doulas can't have an NPI. That's not true. I don't know if it was true at some point. I'm not saying that it was never a true thing, but I know currently that is not true. The NPI number, the NPI website does specifically say doula. So when you go on there to get your NPI, you need to select doula, go through the prompts. It is free. That's another thing. I've seen a lot of different things online saying, oh, for $300, I'll get you an NPI number or this, and that. Please do not pay for an NPI number. It is a free service to you. You go online, you fill out a form. I don't think it's been a long time since I filled out mine, so I don't remember how long, but I would say probably no more than 10 minutes. You just need your business information. You input that information, and then you're able to then be generated an NPI number. I think when I did it, I might have had to wait a day or two, but I think that now it's probably just very instant. Don't get me to get you confused, but just go to the NPI website, Google NPI, go to the website, start that process now. In order to bill any type of insurance, whether it be TRICARE, Medicaid, any type of insurance, you will have to have an NPI number. And so I need you guys to start working on those now, because we are working to get more and more providers on board with us. But the only way you're going to be able to take advantage of the fullness of your certification is by making sure you have things like an NPI number. And so, again, we have these perks. And as a result, I want to make sure that we're preparing all of us to be, prepared, right, for 2025. As we're working to get these entities on board to work with our doulas, we need our doulas to be ready as well, right? So the 2 programs that we've rolled out that we're going to be 2025 programming, but that, I've had to hunker down to go ahead and flush them out because we need them before 2025. The way that these companies are talking, I want you guys, when 2025 hits, I don't need to be getting you guys ready. I want everybody to be ready to literally hit the ground running. And so as a result, we have moved up the timeline significantly for 2 programs. The first one is our cross-training program. This has been something that I have been thinking about and praying through and kind of sorting out in my mind what it was going to look like, what we were going to be doing with it for about 6 months now. And my plan was to bring this to you guys in first quarter next year. But because I know that there are people who are wanting to take advantage of the Walmart partnership, the TRICARE partnership, being able to bill Medicaid in your particular state, because I know 40 days rebirth. This will be recorded, and we're gonna probably break it up into a couple of reels. But then in general, we'll make sure that it is on our Instagram. So definitely, thank you for stopping by, guys. I know that I'm talking a lot, but I just have so much information to get out to you today. But if you have questions, please put them in the question box. If somebody wants to join me, probably in the next 10 minutes after I get everything out to you all, please feel free to do a request to join as well. But for people who are just joining, I'm going to give you a recap of where we are, and then we're going to go through the last few points that I have. So we're talking about 2 new programs that we have released. If you go to our bio, the links for these programs are directly in the bio. The first one is our cross-training program. People who have trained with other organizations but want to also have an NBDA certification. We talked about the reasons why you will want an NBDA certification, right? So people who don't know, hopefully you have found out if you are an NBDA certified doula. But if you're just joining us, if you have an NBDA certification, you can bill through TRICARE. You can be the doula for anybody who is an employee at a Walmart, and that those funds will be reimbursed to you. You can bill through Medicaid for 12 out of the 15 states where that is something that is necessary right now. And so with our cross-training program, it's going to be a 2-day training. I'm going to do it as a pilot program because I'm moving it up. I don't want to cause any stress to any of my trainers. So I'm going to take on the first group of cross-trainers. And so we're going to start October. Between now and October, though, we have a application process, because in you cross training, we do need to know where did you train before, how long you've been a doula, families you might have worked with. So just email us. Honestly, the best way for you to start getting in the fold with that. I know some people reached out to me after our last live. We had a few people who have been emailing about this already. You guys should have already received the email. I sent out an email blast to the body as well. So if you're a part of the National Black Doulas Association, you should have received an email with this information also. But if you did not, inside of the link in our bio, we have a link to cross-training program. When you click on it, you're going to get all of the information, all of the instructions, what you have to have, what the cost is. And so I'll go ahead and be very transparent with you all and tell you what this includes and what the cost is, right? So for our cross-training program, this is a pilot program, right? And because y'all going to work with me, I'm going to work with y'all, especially when it comes to the price of the program. Meaning that because it's our first one, y'all gonna have to work with me to get the kinks flushed out. I know and have developed what I want this to look like and what it should look like, but it is our pilot program, right? And we are moving up the date significantly to make sure you guys can take advantage of these perks as soon as possible. And so our pilot program for cross training is the value is $1,350. After I tell you what all that's included, that's what the price should be. But because this is a pilot program and because I need you guys to get your certifications as soon as possible in order for us to prepare everybody to be ready to be off to the races in 2025, the price for the cross training is $777, right? Meaning that you guys are going to get your 2-day training. You're also going to get to pay for your certification for 2 years, which is a huge deal. Nobody who's doing cross-training is allowing you guys to go ahead and walk away from your cross-training certified, and for the fee of the cross-training to also cover your certification fee. So you're going to get your training. You're going to get 2 years of certification. After you finish your 2 years, you'll just have to do your renewal. In the renewal process, I want to talk about that next. But again, 2-day training. It's going to be hybrid. So if you're in the metro Atlanta area, you can come in person to train with me. Unless you don't want to. But if you're in a different state, you can also take advantage of this virtually. Okay, so this is going to be a 2-day training, a Saturday and Sunday, all day, 9 to 6. We have several topics that we're going to go over. And because you guys are coming in to cross-train, we are not starting from the tippy top. We're going to start at an intermediate level after I can get a glimpse of where everybody is. That's why we have an application process. I need to see where everybody's learning level is, what we've done, what we haven't done, and so I can gauge exactly where we should start with our cross-training, okay? So cross-training, you're getting 2 years of certification with the NBDA, and then you're also going to get 2 mentorship sessions with me, okay? The first session is going to be a group session where we talk about just some very generalized business concepts and where you should be, what we should be doing to kind of grow our business or scale our businesses. And then we're going to do a one-on-one session where me and you talk about specifically your business, your goals, and then we create a plan of attack, right? So I always tell people that when you have a business, one of the reasons that we often aren't growing our businesses is that we don't have any goals. We might have personal goals. We might want to do well in business, but doing well is so subjective. You need to have actual goals for your business. So we're going to do a one-on-one session where we develop the goals that you need for your business. And so you're getting your class, 2-day training. You're also getting your certification. Exactly. You get the certification too. I want to make this as easy as possible, guys. This is so important to me. And I'm telling you, like, this has really been impressed upon my heart. Like, we got to get ready. I don't know what exactly is about to come, but I do know that things are changing within the birth work space. And we cannot, as Black and brown doulas, be left behind. We have to get ahead of this thing. We need to be in a position that when they say, oh, it's 15 states today, but 25, 30, 40 states tomorrow that are accepting Medicaid, that will pay doulas for Medicaid coverage, but they have to have these particular certifications. When that happens, I need us to be ready. I don't want us trying to scramble to get people certified or make sure y'all have certifications to take advantage of these incentives. I want you guys to go into next year ready to take advantage of these incentives. I need you guys ready, certification in hand, like, hey, give me my money, okay? And so first, we going back to the top. I know some people are joining us, not going to take up too much more time, but we're talking about the 2 new programs that we have that are going to get these certifications into your hand as quickly as possible because it's necessary. We're moving into a different space within the birth work world, and I need you guys to be prepared, okay? And so the first one we talked about is our cross-training program. If you are interested in cross-training, please look at the link in our bio. All the information that you need is there. If you have any questions, please feel free to email us at hello@blackdoulas.org, and we'll make sure that you get any of your questions answered that way. Again, the training itself is going to take place that first weekend in October. And if you are needing any more information about that, please let me know. It's going to be a hybrid training, meaning that I'm going to train in person here in Atlanta, metro Atlanta. It'll probably be a little bit north of the city. I'll be training, and then people who are in other states, you guys can take advantage of the training. Even if you live in, New Jersey, California, you can still take advantage of the training. The next thing is that it is time for a lot of people to renew their certification. And I know that in the past, this has been a little bit of a tedious process, a lot of questions about what courses you can take, what courses you can't take, what the fees are, things like that. I've made this as simple as possible for you guys because you need to renew your certifications. If you've already trained with us, if it's just time for you to renew that certification, please, please, please look at the link in our bio. Go ahead and start that process. If you reached out to me earlier in the year and said, hey, Brandie, I need to renew, and I said, hey, we're working on it, we are still working on it, but I have found a solution to get us over this hump as we prepare for 2025. So again, these are programs that we're rolling out in order to make sure you are prepared. We have new things happening, and in order for you as a Black or brown doula to take advantage of these new things, you need to be a certified National Black Doulas Association doula. In order for you to take advantage of the partnership we have with Walmart, the things we have going on with TRICARE, the things that we have going on with the other CMS within the other states, and then just in general, we good people to train with. We have a great curriculum, and I cannot tell you how amazing our trainers are. We have 10 different trainers in almost 10 different states. We have 2 trainings going on this weekend. Both of them are in person. One is in Virginia, one is in Tennessee. Every single weekend, I believe, except for around the holiday time, but almost every weekend between now and the end of the year, we have trainings going on. And so if you need to get in a training, you're not trying to renew or you're not trying to cross-train, but you need to train, go ahead and look on our website. We have a training going on almost every weekend this year. For the remainder of the year. And so going back to our CEs and how you are able to renew. So previously, we had very specific courses that you had to take in order to renew your certification. We are developing a CE catalog where we will have a plethora of courses that are pre-approved for you all to take as continuing education courses in order for you to renew. So just to go over this renewal process with you slightly, in order to renew your certification with the National Black Doulas Association, this is something you need to do every 2 years. You have up into 6 months after your certification expires to make sure you send in the proper information in order to renew your certification. If you go past that 6-month time, you need to email us and we can, talk about exactly what we need to do to get you back on track. But for right now, the process is every 2 years, within 6 months of your date on your certification, you need to go ahead and make sure you send in information for 4 CEs, meaning that you've done some kind of continuing education within the last 2 years. And this is really to make sure that you are keeping your tools sharpened, right? You want to make sure you're learning new stuff. You want to make sure that you are reading more, doing more births, really getting out there to make sure that you're honing in on your skill set. And so the process, of course, again, you have to have 4 continuing education credits. Now, this was a huge thing before because we did not have a whole lot of continuing education courses that you can take. Currently, as of today, if you need to renew, you can send in we have an application. On that application, it has all of the criteria for what you would need to do to submit your course or book as a CE, right? So let me break this down for you. You have to have 4 CEs. Before, it had to be a very specific course. What I'm telling you guys now, I know doulas love to train. I know y'all been training here, training there. I just want you to train. I want you to read. I want you to get more knowledge. Yes, we are still going to develop a catalog of courses that are pre-approved. But for right now, and even futuristically, we have an application where you can go in and tell us what you've done, send us in the specific information that's being asked of you, and you can use just about any course, any workshop, and then any of our recommended books can be used as a continuing education credit, okay? So first, let's talk about the books. We have a recommended reading list for birth and for postpartum trainings. On the link that's in the bio, the books are listed there as well. So you can select any book from our pre-approved or our recommended reading list, and you can read that book and then turn in a 750 word summary and application report. So maybe you don't have the time. Maybe you are a doula, but you have little ones, or you're a doula, but you also have a full-time job, and taking advantage of maybe a workshop or a course is just not something you can do right now. Okay. And so I want you to instead get a book even if you got to listen to it on Audible, the key here is that we need to increase our knowledge. We need to stay in the know of what's going on within the birth work world. And I don't want to be, in a position to penalize anybody based on time. Time is hard to come by. Sometimes as an entrepreneur, as somebody who might, be a caretaker, that's a lot to have on your plate. And so what I'm asking is that you go ahead and send in a book summary report, right? So I want you to tell me what the book was about. Tell me how you're going to apply this to your journey as a birth worker. That's it. That's simple. 750 words. Inside of the application, again, which is linked in our bio, you can submit it, okay? Now, you can do 4 of those. You can do 4 book reports. We got about 10 books on our recommended reading list. So say you don't have time at all to go to any workshops or courses, this is an option for you. You can use this as a continuing education credit, and you can go ahead and move towards renewing your certification. Okay? Now, another thing, the second option is that say you have taken a workshop or you have taken a course, whether that be in person, virtually, or self-paced. Now, keep in mind, these courses have to be really strictly related to birth, postpartum, or business, right? So somewhere within the birth work world. I'm not saying that it can't be about, maybe it's, bereavement and loss. Maybe you took a training that was about, breastfeeding skills for doulas. Maybe it was a positioning training. Maybe you got to take a spinning babies class. All of the above, right? On our application, again, linked in the bio, they give you very specific information on what it is that we need from you. Basically, you can either give us your receipt from your course, you can give us some photographic evidence that you were there, you can give us a letter from your teacher, whatever it is, just prove to us that you took the course and that the course was related to birth work, and that can be used as a CE as well. Okay? All of this information, the breakdown of what you need, how much you need, how to submit it, is on a link inside of our bio. Okay? So the 2 programs that we're rolling out this week, as opposed to 2025, one, are cross-training. So if you are a doula who's trained with a different organization, but you would like to be trained and certified through the National Black Doulas Association, you can look at the link in our bio. We have a cross-training program specifically for you. If you have any questions, please head on over to your email and email us at hello@blackdoulas.org. Okay? The next one we have is our CE program. For anybody who needs to renew their certification, we need you guys to go ahead over to the link in the bio again and make sure that you look and see, okay, this is the process, right? So I told you can do books, you can do workshops, you can do courses, all of the above. I just need information on when you took them and what you took away from them, right? You need 4 of those in order to move towards your renewal or your recertification. And we want to see you get this done before 2025. Like I said, we have so many things that are coming and heading our way. I just would think it would be robbery not to warn you guys ahead of time, right? Then warn in the best way. Get you prepared in the best way. Having an NBDA certification, one of my goals is to make that something that we know how important it is to have the NBDA. We know how important it is to build community and specifically have a place where Black families can find Black doulas. But I want the world to know how important and how special it is for this organization to exist, and for the doulas that we train and the doulas that are attached to us through the association, for them to see how amazing and important you guys are. And so just know, on the back end, on a daily basis, that's what we're doing. We're in these meetings, we're on these phone calls, we're doing everything that we can to push the agenda for Black and brown doulas forward. And as a part of that, we are getting some traction, and we want to make sure that all of those things are passed along to you, because it doesn't benefit us. We're doing the work for you. Okay? And so I will go ahead and wrap it up. I feel like that I have chatted quite a bit, but I am so excited. I think that that really is truly what I got into this for. I absolutely love being a doula. Again, been doing this work for 14 years, and it is truly a calling and truly a blessing to my life. But the reality is, I am a sister by nature. I love being a sister. I love sisterhood. I work really well on teams. And so I am really just about what can we do to make it better for all Black and brown doulas, right? And so when I'm in these meetings, when I'm doing these emails, when I'm in the background getting a chance to work on your behalf, it truly is for you. And I hope and pray that as we continue on this journey together, that you all get to really reap the benefits of being a part of something as special as the National Black Doulas Association. It is literally such a pleasure and such an honor. Most days I'm still not convinced that I am able to be in this position, but I'm so grateful that I am. So if you guys have any questions, any concerns, any more information needed about these new programs, about the perks of the programs, please feel free to reach out to us. Again, if you DM us, give us a couple days, but if you can, email us directly at hello@blackdoulas.org. Please feel free to do so. I look forward to seeing some of you guys in trainings with us soon, okay? Have a good rest of your day and a wonderful weekend. Thank you for allowing me to chat your face off if you made it this far. If you are watching our playback, please share it with somebody. Make sure that you tell a doula to tell a doula that it's time to get certified with NBDA. Alrighty.